This is from Jason Schreier right here. Top director at Bungie was fired after misconduct investigation. Veteran developer who worked on hit video game franchises Halo and Destiny was directing the next major title, Marathon. Christopher Barrett, one of the top executives at one of the video games industry's leading studios, was fired this spring after he was accused by several female employees of inappropriate behavior, according to people familiar with the matter. Starting at Bungie Inc. in 1999, Barrett rose through the ranks as an artist and then a director on the popular Halo and Destiny franchise, and served on Bungie's board before the company was bought by Sony Group Corp for $3.6 billion in 2022. Behind the scenes, Barrett was terminated following an internal investigation in which at least 8 female employees raised complaints earlier this year that he had behaved inappropriately toward them. According to 8 people, including multiple women who reported Barrett, as well as other Bungie employees who were either involved in the investigation or spoke to the women involved. The people asked not to be named, discussing private information. The investigation found that Barrett called lower-level female employees attractive, asked them to play Truth or Dare, and made references to his wealth and power within the studio, suggesting that he could help advance their careers, according to 2 people familiar with the case. Good God, man, that's a holy shit. That's like 101 to how to, I mean, that's like if there was what you don't do. This is a guide 101 of how not to be in power or how not to be in leadership. And look. I never want to come off as like holier than thou. Okay, I am anything but. All right. So I don't want you to ever think that I'm over here casting stones. But hey, this is something that I don't do. Number one, I don't have any women that work for me, but you just don't mix work with play, man. You just don't. Like, if you want to chase, we said this way back whenever Dr. Disrespect and his whole Twitch DMs and stuff like that. But like that's even mixing work a little bit with play. If you want to chase Pootie Tang, do it outside of the work environment, and definitely don't do it from a position of power. Don't do it from a position of leadership. Don't. Suggesting he could help advance people's career. In a statement to Bloomberg News, Barrett said that throughout nearly 25 years at Bungie, I feel that I've always conducted myself with integrity and been respectful and supportive of my colleagues, many of whom I consider my closest friends. I never stunned my communications to be unwanted, and I would have never thought they could possibly have made anyone feel uncomfortable. If anyone ever felt that way about their interaction with me, I am truly sorry. Sony Interactive Entertainment, Bungie's parent company, would not comment on Barrett's case specifically, but a spokesperson said the company takes all complaints of misconduct very seriously. It is our policy and practice to investigate every complaint promptly, take action based on the findings of our investigation. Over the last 2 decades, the video game industry has faced a reckoning over its reputation as a boys' club as it has grown into a $200 billion behemoth. Along the way, several top companies, including Riot Games, Ubisoft Entertainment, and Activision Blizzard, all faced legal action and managerial shakeups following the allegations of misbehavior by some of their staff. Activision paid $55 million last year to settle a lawsuit brought by California that accused the Call of Duty maker of harboring a frat boy culture. And in 2021, Riot Games paid $100 million to settle a class action gender discrimination lawsuit. Bungie, founded in 1991, also dealt with these growing pains. In 2021, the gaming site IGN reported that Bungie employees said their human resources department was unwilling to respond to complaints about misbehavior at the studio. In the Barrett case, Bungie and Sony took action to remove one of the studio's most tenured employees following the complaints, a sign the video game industry may be evolving. That is actually a great sign. I would argue and say normally this, like in many places, it would stay hush hush. Christopher Barrett was credited for, forsaken. Let me also just back up here, okay? Not one person is responsible for any major expansion in Destiny. It is teams of people. And the best leaders are the ones that don't go over there and slap their name on something and say, I did this. The best leaders are the ones who look around and said, our team did this, and that team did that, and that team did that, and elevates everybody. And let me just say this, there are leaders at Bungie right now who do that. There are, and I know, like, we kind of like lump things together and like say like leadership is bad. I think this is one of those cases where leadership is bad, and luckily in this case, Bungie and Sony is taking the trash out here. But there are people in leadership at Bungie that do elevate their teams, man. Every one of those expansions that come out, it is teams of teams that push that thing through. Now, stories shared with Bloomberg News from the women involved or those who are familiar with the case all follow similar patterns. Barrett would befriend women at the studio in various departments and then send them a barrage of text messages that blur the lines between professional and personal. In interviews, multiple women who reported Barrett said that if the advances were unwanted and they felt uncomfortable because Barrett was simply more powerful than they were at the company. Yeah, and he's married. So, I mean, that's kind of, it's a double whammy, right? Text reviewed by Bloomberg News included flirtatious messages from Barrett and requests to hang out with the women involved. Bloomberg News is not sharing specific details to avoid potentially identifying the women who reported Barrett to Human Resources. Bundy employees weren't told the circumstances behind Barrett's departure. Members of his marathon team were informed earlier this year by management that he was on a sabbatical. According to the people familiar, some later discovered that his company accounts had been disabled. But there you go, guys. That's why Christopher Barrett is no longer a part of the marathon team. That's why there was a shakeup in leadership, and Joe Ziegler is taking over on the marathon side. And that's why we also did not, because everybody was saying, okay, if Joe Ziegler is taking over marathon, then why is Christopher Barrett not working on Destiny 2? Well, that's why. Yeah, this is kind of like the textbook example of how not to be a management. Isn't it weird that only after these layoffs, these actors just start reigning most of the time? Yeah, I mean, it's normally like people that are broken away from the company and probably, since they're not working, they probably feel comfortable to bring some of these things up. He was fired in spring. Yeah, but this is not something that like Bungie's going to be like, hey, so this week at Bungie, yeah, we have a new exotic that just came out. Oh, and we fired Christopher Barrett, a longtime Destiny director who's now on Marathon, for sending messages, text messages, and using his position of power to flirt with women. You know where I'm coming from? That's just not something that's going to be in a TWAB. But let me just be clear. First up, I think it's great that Bungie took action on this, and Sony. And two, I don't want you guys to think like, well, if Christopher Barrett's like this, then the whole studio must, you know what I mean? Like, how many other people are like this? I'm not saying that there aren't other people at the studio that could potentially be like this. It's just from my experience, at least the folks that I've seen, that, not that I'm just saying from my experience way, you know, when we went before the final shape, my experience was that the folks that are in leadership are people that lift up their teams, at least the ones I've seen, and are good for us as gamers as well. Again, I also want to just mention, like, I'm not coming off from a place of holier than thou. Y'all understand where I'm coming from, right? If you come across a girl and you make an advancement and she says, no, I'm not interested. And you're like, all right. And you go on with your merry way, completely fine. Dude, I don't got to see. And vice versa. If a girl comes across a guy and makes the move and doesn't work, fine. You know what I mean? Good luck to you. Best of luck, whatever. But you can't do it from a position of power. You can't do it from a, hey, you want a promotion? Heard you're trying to buy a house this year. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's a bad look. I just don't want, everyone at Bungie to be painted with the same brush here, okay? You get some bad apples, they dealt with the bad apple, they put it out in a discussion. Hopefully, you know, more complaints. I do think that there are good people at Bungie that are monitoring this thing. And I think the folks that I've met that are in leadership, that when I say like game director type roles and stuff like that, they are great fucking people who elevate their teams. And I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like the kind of people that I would probably work for, is what I'm saying. So I say, if you're in a position of leadership, you just have to be. And look, I remember one time I waited tables for like not even 3 months, maybe 4 months, somewhere around 3-4 months. I waited tables. This is years and years ago. I was in college, and I remember I had two different bosses, two different managers of the restaurant. One was like the coolest fucking dude you could imagine, and he was a family guy, but he fucking loved to make jokes. He was reasonable and never inappropriate. Never fucking inappropriate. And then, like, we even went, there was like one time it was that summer, we went on a beer float trip. What a float trip is like you go to a river, you get a raft out, a little floaty raft, and you drink beer and you just float down the river. That's a float trip. And he was out there drunk as a skunk, but never misbehaved, completely appropriate. And was even better was, even though he was many years our senior, when 8:00 p.m. rolled around, he fucking picked his beer up and said good night and went to bed in the hotel. And we didn't see him till the next day. Never inappropriate. Our second manager that was also with us was inappropriate. There were times that you could just tell, like, he'd make a few stabs at some of the hostesses, you know what I mean? Or some of the waitresses. Just made things a bit uncomfortable. And so, again, if he was just like maybe a waiter, completely different, that's fine. Hell, I was messing with the hostess, one of the hostesses, but that was okay because we were on the same level. You know what I mean? I wasn't messing with the hostess saying, hey, you want more hours? You want more evenings next week? You know where I'm coming from? I wasn't doing that. But the managerial guy, him messing with the girls. It's a bigger problem. You know where I'm coming from? Those were my two experiences with those bosses. And I could just tell you, even from a guy's perspective, the first boss was just so much better to work for, man. It just wasn't any personal stuff. And it was like, it's amazing. It's like in all these other facets of his life, he was a, you know, a good family man, but still loved to have, you know, a joke here and there, and was just a ton of fun to be around and work with, and never inappropriate. Yet the other manager who was inappropriate at time, had all these other issues, was not fun to work for, made everything extremely personal. You see where I'm coming from this? It's in one area, if you're a certain way, it's amazing how you'll be that shitty way in all these other facets. I think the worst case scenario here would have been if Bungie tried to sweep this under the rug and then still kept him in a position as game director and tried to hush everything up, and you know, then that shit came out. You know where I'm coming from? I mean, it's again, it's not a good look, but no place is perfect, man. No place is perfect, dude. I wish we lived in that world, but I'll see the allegations come out. I mean, it's like every day I hear some stuff come out, you know? Rule of thumb, know your audience. You can be inappropriate as long as the people around you know that it's a joke, not serious. You know, I'm gonna be honest, if I was in the, you know, professional world today, I wouldn't even do it with people that I really trust. You know, even if I'm like, I know they know that I would be joking, I wouldn't even be, you don't even want to, you know what I'm coming from? I just think you shouldn't, just to be safe, man, just don't do it, you know? It's pretty risky. But yeah, I would say anyone you work with, just be cautious. Just be extremely cautious. Just be dead inside and nothing comes across as weird. No, it doesn't have to be like that. Guys, you can have harmonious relationships with the people that you work with, and even friendships, you know? You don't have to be like, I'm a steel case of zero emotion, nothing happens. No, you don't have to be that way. Just interact. And yeah, do your shit and go home. I feel like Bungie's had enough bad press already. This is something that they did address, or they have addressed, and just leave it at that. They address it, and hopefully there are systems in place at Bungie that anyone else that feels like they're dealing with someone who's being inappropriate can go to them and let them know. I suspect that there are some individuals definitely though that are there that can easily be approached about this thing.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
I figured I would watch this for no particular reason.
マジで無理なんだけど、大きすぎ、でかす
Just get
ぎ、
scissors.
やばすぎ共和国、大きすぎ共和国、でかすぎ共和国、やばすぎ共和国。
No fear of cockroaches is actually a pretty impressive skill to have. Japan has this lady, we have Asmongold, who's attracted to some. You ever want to lay down all day while consuming as much entertainment as possible so you
Yeah,
can
I do that.
distract yourself from life? Like
Yeah.
some sort of weird human baby? Or a human turned into a worm. It's
Yeah.
way easier to do nothing
I do
compared
that.
to dealing with all your grown-up responsibilities.
I
No
know
one told
that.
me about taxes, bills every month, the tedious task of thinking of what to eat every single day for the rest of my life. Sheesh.
Chipotle. Problem solved. I just answered it.
The guy just be a baby again?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility for the majority of us until we can figure out how to Benjamin Button ourselves.
That's
So
why you
the
have to
next
be a
best
streamer.
thing is bed rotting, eh? We're told that if we embrace hustle culture, work
Yeah.
really hard, then we can achieve our dreams. The amount
Right.
of effort you put into your career, the more well off you'll be during retirement
Of
age.
course.
Your future is created by what you do today, said
Yep.
the president of some country. So why me have
Which, by the way, is true. Like, I know people like to meme on hustle culture and say that it's stupid. But yeah, working hard and working out and eating healthy and trying hard at your job will result at a positive outcome at a higher ratio than not doing those things. Yeah. True.
Graduate degree, but work as barista with no house or car.
Uh-huh.
No, this is Patrick.
Well, that's kind of the reality we live in now. The American dream has literally turned into something you can only see when you're dreaming. No matter how many hours you put into your career, how much you invest into your education, which ends up being a piece of paper and bank account jump scare, unless you're born wealthy or with a little bit of nepotism on your side, life's just one long slugfest of working until you're old and then... That's kind of soul crushing. So taking the...
I don't think that's entirely true. Like, I think that it's true for a lot of people, but for the people that I know that have that mentality in life, I think that if I look at what they've done in their life, it's a lot of nothing. Like, they really just didn't put in a lot of work and effort into things, or they aren't really, like they're not hard workers. And that's it. It's not true. There's a lot of people that grow up and they come from, you know, maybe not the Section 8 housing, but they come from humble beginnings and they work hard and they have good jobs and they're successful. It happens very commonly. It doesn't happen all the time. And it doesn't guarantee it. But it certainly happens a lot more than not doing it. But I can see where people come from, right? Because it's like, there's some people that see that and they're not getting the results that they want. Now, is it their fault or not? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter from their perspective, because if they feel like they're not getting the results they want, then they start losing interest with reality.
Entire day off from time to time to rest and not think about 1,000 things at once helps us avoid burning out. The best feeling is working really hard, then taking 1 to 2 days off with your brain turned off to do nothing. Although bed rotting is a trendy activity we've been seeing that goes further than a day of self-care.
I wish
you're in
I
your
could.
room, laying in bed all day, except you're not sleeping, but doing passive activities to avoid life, like scrolling on your phone, watching movies, counting the pores on the ceiling. Think of it as stress-inducing procrastination, where instead of relaxing at a spa, you're closing your eyes so you don't notice that the building is actually on fire. You can find a lot of content from Gen Z and millennials sharing their bed rotting experiences, either for clout and views since it's trendy to do so, or to connect with others who are going...
What is the trend? This is how it can look. Yeah, it's about right. I mean, she's still pretty young, probably, that's got this here, because, like, look at all these pencils and shit, right? So she's probably in school or some shit.
through something similar. There's been a shift in the public sentiment from this being a quirky activity to this isn't good. It depends on the severity. A little bit of bed rotting can just be someone taking time off, but extreme levels can be linked with someone who's mentally unwell, especially when you see rooms that don't have floors anymore.
Who would do that? Who would possibly do? Wow, this is so bad.
With so much junk, and the bowls and dishes with old food in them started making their own clothes to wear.
Bed rotting is a trend where you just kind of enjoy the time that you have in your bed.
You can see this person right here on TikTok who made a video about their trend. They have cups laying around their room.
That's
just
disgusting.
With mold because they're just bed rotting. All of these cups, Chick-fil-A containers, all of this stuff has just been piling up because all they do is lay in their bed all day.
I know we shouldn't eat mold, but why it look like I kind of want to eat it? We shouldn't be glamorizing
They're not that good, trust me.
But focus on curbing it instead by sharing tips or showing our progress when we finally decide to clean our rooms.
Here's what you're gonna do if you've already rotted half the day away and you kind of regret it.
So that was a little taste of bed rotting in the West. Now in Asia...
See, for me, like, I have a lot of days where I do that. I do, and like I will have days where it's like a vacation. I take a vacation from life. Like I don't call anybody. I don't answer anybody's calls. I can't do this as much anymore. And I think that it's had a negative effect on my psyche too. Like back before I had as many responsibilities as I do now, I actually had a lot of cases where I would be able to spend like a week or a few days away from other people, and I would come back a better person because I just can't be around people that much. It makes me insane. It makes me psychotic. Yeah, it must be nice. Yeah, and now it's way worse. And so for me, like, yeah, I think that like some of this is healthy, but it's like it's one of these things where it's always like self-indulgence is the problem, right? Where it's like you're doing it all the time. That's the issue.
This isn't just a concerning phase anymore. A few cups with moldy drink in them is nothing compared to the DIY hill you made in your own home out of trash. I like sledding on a fluffy white hill as much as the next person, but this seems like a biohazard. There are two content creators from Japan that kept popping up on my timeline who have quite the interesting following. The first one is Haritsu, an Indonesian college dropout living in Japan who's known for cooking food that is well beyond its expiration date, eating it, and somehow surviving. And we're not talking about a yogurt that's a few days past its best before date. I saw this man take...
Yeah, I've never really done this before. I'm very much the kind of guy that if something is out of date by one day, I will not eat it. Like, this is the one thing that I actually am very, very specific about.
Resident Evil looking rice from underneath the sink, give it a bath, then make it into a somewhat decent looking dish.
Yeah.
You would have never known how old and how unrefrigerated his ingredients were. This is a health inspector's nightmare. If they went inside his house, they would cry, fail him, and then shut down the kitchen. This isn't even a restaurant. At least he's not wasteful. The second creator is Shiro.
Yeah, that's not really so bad. I mean, like, I've seen people that eat nasty stuff like that before. It's like it's whatever. Cause like you're gonna heat up a lot of that and it's gonna burn off the mold, etc. And so, yeah, it's not that bad. You made this trend, man. It's your fault. I do think that, like, I mean, this girl's 1999, right? So that means that she's, what, like 24 or something like that? So, yeah, I mean, I was doing that 25, yeah, either way. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely some of these people could have grown up seeing me and Asmongold's Lair and been like, wow, you were one of the first people to do this? Yeah, like I released Asmongold's Lair when this girl was 11. Oh my god. That's fucked up. I could have done this.
Kumatian Daisuke 1999, who's infamous for living in a home covered in trash while sharing this small space with a lot of roommates. Sure, times are tough and we gotta do what we gotta do, but it's like more than a reasonable amount of people. Between all of them, there's at least 1,000 legs, 1,000 arms, bugs. Her roommates are bugs.
マジで無理なんだけど、大きすぎ、でかすぎ、やばすぎ共和国、大きすぎ共和国、でかすぎ共和国、やばすぎ共和国。
Damn, if all these uninvited guests
No, not right now.
showed up in my home, I would have to put on a full production of Stomp, or at least a K-pop fan cam from Inkigayo.
Yeah.
No fear of cockroaches is actually a pretty impressive skill to have. Japan has this lady, we have Asmongold, who's reacted to some...
Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go.
my videos.
I have.
I kind of feel like that roach that was in his house.
Get him out of my... What are you doing, bro? Get out of my...
But wow, those moldy cups are basically a cute little garnish compared to living with 5,000 freeloading roommates that don't pay rent. At least they don't take up
I had a spider that was in my kit. It was in my my bathtub. And yeah, he's just there. I think that there's actually two of them. They were really big too. I took a picture of them. It's like it's hard to really kind of show because like a bathtub, it's like how big is a bathtub to like contextualize it. But it was about the size of here, this is perfect. It was this. About the size of this. Yeah. Like legs included, right? Legs included, like spread out, you know, ready to go. You kill them? Yeah, I just smashed them. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's just a spider. Like, what the fuck's he gonna do? Spiders are helpful? Yeah, that's what I thought. But then there was a wasp like 3 days ago. I had to cut him in half. Like, yeah, like, well, where the fuck was he? Like, we had a good thing going here, you know? And then you fuck this up? Now there's a wasp? Bro, you had your chance. You had to cut them in half? Yeah, no, well, what I do with the spiders is that I try to kill them, but if the spider gets away one time, I let the spider live. Because I feel like he's passed, you know?
A room, because they sleep on the walls. That being said, I'm not 100% sure if this content is made by people who are actually going through something, or if it's manufactured for engagement and views. We'll look into how all these topics tie in with each other. Why is this letting your living space turn into a landfill phenomenon so much more severe in Asia? Well, let's talk about their work culture and how intense it can be compared to our silly little corporate errands and elite employee bosses. In China, the belief is that the harder you work, the more will pay off. You put in 40 years of working really hard, and the fruits of your labor should show that, which was true many decades ago when the economy was thriving. There wasn't as much competition in the market. You could buy home, car, purse, family, working the same job for your entire life. Now, you'd be lucky to even afford one of these things. The 996 culture became a normal way of living, where you work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Putting in your 40 hours a week is child's play compared to this. You're expected to live this way if you want to be successful. If you don't want to conform though, that's totally fine. Someone else that's younger and less tired will take your place in a heartbeat. The Asian workforce is so competitive. Companies
outraged netizens say jail is better than work. Yep, there it is. I mean, for me, like, no, what about mosquitoes? Oh, I swear to God, I know people might not believe this, but I've seen mosquitoes bite me and die. Like, just straight up, like, I've seen them just like bite me. They've flown around. After like 10 minutes, the mosquito dies. And so, see another doctor? Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Encourage their employees to reveal their punch-in hours like a badge of honor. Whoever is the most overworked gets the praise. If you're working the minimum amount of hours required while having a healthy work-life balance, boo! Well, putting in overtime.
Sounds like a loser to me.
This expectation that you need to dedicate your entire life to work for a mediocre life is causing younger generations to realize, bruh, this sucks. It's
well, like this is always the way it was. Like, peasants would have this happen back in the 1500s. Except for instead of retiring, the Lord would conscript them to go to war against the other Lord that they had like a disagreement like 5 years ago. And so then they just kill each other and that's about it. Like it's actually always been like this. It has been, yeah. And like, that's fucked, yeah. And like, then, or maybe they just decide to kill you because, you know, why not? Yeah, feudal times are the best. Well, yeah, you need a war? No. I mean, you could figure out other reasons to kill people. You didn't just need a war. But yeah.
Watching the starry-eyed graduate who's excited to join the workforce turn into the bitter, jaded employee who's ready to retire in the span of 5 years instead of 50 years. You know what you get after working 50 years for a company nowadays? An email.
50 years. 7-Eleven.
In 2022, a term called Bailan started trending in Chinese online gaming communities, which translates to laying flat and lowering one's goals. Basically saying, no thanks, I think I'll pass on this crazy work lifestyle. There's a lot of talented, hardworking people out there who want to make their career the main focus of their lives. But not everyone has to live like that, right? What's the point in working so hard if we're going to stress ourselves out until we develop health issues? We're still going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel while the rich get even richer.
This is, I think, the reason why people are upset about it. It's because, like, I work pretty often too, right? I don't really take days off of streaming, Like, for example, like after I do my stream today, like I have to like go grocery shopping, and at the same time I'm grocery shopping, I also have to be part of a meeting. And after that meeting, I have to do another meeting after that with somebody else for something separate. And then after that, I'll probably call my dad and check in with him and see if he's good. And this is something that I do every single day. But the difference is that I feel like one of the big differences for me is that, number one, I'm doing a lot of it on my own time. And like, for example, like I don't have to drive somewhere. I can do what I want to do, you know, like for the most part, like whenever I want to do it. And also I'm making a lot of money from it too. And so there's like a freedom that it provides me. Now that freedom isn't really as important anymore because I've already kind of like hit that threshold. But, you know, for me, I think it's about people. A big thing I think is it's about that the time worked is a big factor. But I think what is an equal factor for a lot of people is the fact that they don't really feel like they're getting any value out of the time that they're working. Like they're not they're putting in, I think that's how burnout happens. Burnout doesn't happen from working a lot. Burnout happens from working a lot and getting a little.
So doing just enough to get by might be a better option for some, and there's less risk of getting burnt out. Basically, keep your expectations low for everything you do in life. Japan also has a similar working culture. It's based on intense commitment, ethics, and extreme dedication to the company you're working for. If you're just starting out in the workforce, they have a strict hierarchy system you need to follow. If the boss says, put on a furry suit and start serving your country, then you better start learning that K-pop choreo ASAP.
Good
also,
for you.
I think I'm going through a phase right now. There have been one too many furry references in my videos recently. You also need to show that you're a team player.
No, it's not his fault. Like, there's too many furries in general. Furries are getting too popular. People getting too cavalier with this furry shit. I'll tell you that.
By drinking with your coworkers every night. How does that show you're a team player? Well, it's all about tradition and conformity. If you're the only one
some people is like, oh, banned people saying work to discredit your work as a streamer. It's not relevant to me whether somebody says that what I'm saying is what I do is work or not. It's not important to me. Like, I don't need anybody else's validation for like whether my job is hard or easy or whether what I'm doing is actual work or work. If my idea of a job was breaking into people's cars and stealing all of their stuff out of their car and then selling it, and I made as much money and I could get away, I'd just do that. Like, I don't have any ego about this. Like, I don't care. I just am doing whatever I can to make money. Like, I don't care about like, oh, the value of the work and like what this is doing for the world. Like, I don't give a fuck about why. I don't care about that. Never cared about that. So like about like it being a job and like, oh, well, it's like, this is the, you know, you have to justify it. It's like, oh, well, I'm really working. Like, I don't care about that at all. Yeah, that's never. Like, I've just never understood it. Sociopathic? Well, it's not really being a sociopath. It's like just that, like, if there would be an easier way to do something that I would want to do, then I would do it. I mean, it's really it. I mean, there's not like a lot of there's not really a lot of like, there's not a lot of thinking beyond that, right? Yeah, that's it. The point's to make money. Yeah, like, I just want the money. Like, whatever gets the money, I just do that.
Goes home. Boo!
Yeah.
And forget about sleep. You might be able to sneak in a quick nap on the subway ride home before you need to show up for your shift, but hey, that's the culture. Did I also mention Japan has the highest levels of working hours in the world, where employees can average 80 hours of unpaid overtime per month? The anime Zom 100 does a really great job at showcasing this lifestyle in their first episode. All this pressure from work, school, and family to fit into your expected societal role, you can see why this bleak overview of the future is causing younger generations to be discouraged.
Yeah, say fuck that. Why would I want to do that?
Which has given rise to people adopting a neat lifestyle, not as in a clean person, but as a not in education, employment, or training person.
I did this for as long as I could. This was great. I was so happy being a NEET. Like, I was so happy. It was great. It was so good, bro. Like, why are people defensive about that too? Well, I mean, look, it's everybody. A lot of people are defensive about the idea of like, they're defensive about the idea of like what they're doing mattering. And I understand why. I get why. It's just not something that I feel. Like, I just don't feel that way.
Long-term goals here are just surviving through each day by doing the bare minimum. As long as you have food, housing, and entertainment, then you're solid. A more intense form of the NEET lifestyle is a hikikomori, which is a Japanese word that translates to pulling inward, being confined. This is where you withdraw yourself from society, where you...
Inward like inside yourself, not inward like Twitter. Yeah. I
basically never leave your home. Described as loners or modern-day hermits,
yeah,
it usually consists of people in their 20s.
This is basically me. Yeah, pretty much.
To late 30s, who are still living with their parents and rely on their support.
In Japan, there's said to be at least 500,000 hikikomori. It's thought that the numbers could be double that because so many of them go uncounted. Most are men 15 to 39. Some
it's mostly guys. This guy right here, his favorite game is definitely Honkai Star Rail or Fate Grand Order. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the Nikkei. Yeah, there you go.
Experts believe that it's a condition caused by traumatic experiences or shame or grief.
Could the pressures of Asian...
No, it's not even that. It's that people grow up being losers. They're not accepted by people in school. They're ugly. They don't really feel like they're part of culture. They don't fit in. And then people don't like them. And then they disconnect from society slowly. And then before you know it, that's where they're at. That's traumatic experience. Well, you could say it's traumatic, but like what I'm saying is that it's not like you had one bad experience and then everything changed. I think that like you're right, but it's like basically death of 1,000 cuts. Like that's kind of the way that I'm seeing it, right? It's not like there's like one situation where it happens. It's something that happens over like a long-term like percentage of time.
Societies be the root cause of these content creators posting their strange lifestyles online? Maybe that's just a theory, a moldy rice cooker theory. Speaking of food that would definitely shave off years of a regular person's life.
I think that one of the reasons why a lot of people do it, like for me, one of the reasons why I didn't really have a problem sharing my lifestyle whenever I was a lot younger and I first started doing this, like I don't know anybody that was really doing it before I was doing it. Maybe, I'm sure there were, it just wasn't as like known. The reason why is that I really didn't like how much like shame was in the culture that we had. And I just didn't like how I would always get shamed a lot for doing or saying or thinking different things. And I always really just like never really understood being ashamed of something. And I know this might sound really bad, but I've never felt any shame for anything bad that I think that I've ever done in a genuine way. Even if it's something bad that I did to somebody, I just don't even think about it, right? And so I think really like expressing yourself and being able to own who you are is something that's like the only thing that you can do at a certain point. Because if you feel like you've been isolated and alienated away from culture as much as you can, as much as possible, then eventually you just decide to yourself, I'm no longer gonna keep playing this game, right? I don't want to keep trying to be this person. I don't want to keep trying to appeal to people that aren't going to like me. And I'm just gonna be myself. And it's kind of a bad version of myself, but it's still who I am, right? And yeah, you can't lose if you don't play. No empathy? Do I have empathy for people? I think so. Like, a lot of the way that I feel about things and the way that people think, like, I don't know. I think this is like revealing a bit too much of like my like internal power level, right? It's probably something I shouldn't really say a lot of. But like whenever I was like a little kid, I would have my mom read to me like all of the the Bible, like the rules in the Bible, because I just didn't really understand why people didn't like certain things or why certain things were bad. And I knew that like I needed to learn this in a way that made sense, because I had like situations in like, yeah, I had to learn the terms of service, because it wasn't and this is why I don't make a lot of comments on moral issues, right? It's because like I have a moral compass. It just doesn't point north. And so when I think of something's morality, I don't think about it the way that other, I think, normal people think about it. And so I learned that about myself pretty early on, and that's why I would want her to like explain everything to me, because I could see like in school I would have it happen. And so like I really only understand a lot of like, you know, sympathy and like emotions or like morals or like empathy with people. I understand it through like through a lens, right? It's not like intuitive to me in a way, but I'm very good at faking it. I'm very good at faking it, and I'm very good at like intellectualizing it to the point where I can intuit it in most of the time. Most of the time I can intuit it, but when things become very morally based, that's when I usually don't like making comments on them, because I feel like I almost always make a mistake. I always say something that's like wrong. I don't know, like that's kind of that's the way that I would explain it in the best way.
Either this guy has the strongest immune system in the world, or the soap he uses to wash his food can eliminate every single disease on the planet. He's known for taking rice that's half food, half a living organism, and turning it back to normal by giving it a bath.
Fuwa. なんかいつもと違うパターンだなこれ。何これ。普通にこのまま食えそう。わあ、綺麗ですね。
Yeah. Was he put soap in there? Is that soap?
なんかこれでもうまそう。
Yeah.
はい、完成。うまそう。
Other than committing multiple health code violations, he's a pretty decent cook. It's no Michelin star meal, but watching him turn expired food into a...
No, I've watched plenty of crackheads that live in like in trailers do this exact same stuff here in the US. It's nothing really special. Yeah, I see that. I've seen plenty of crackheads do that.
Edible-ish.
Yeah. That's not so good.
I was curious after watching so many of his TikToks. Can you actually wash away mold from your food, eat it, and not get sick?
Yeah,
Sources
probably.
say
Yeah, you can.
it depends, but usually, no.
Yeah. What?
What's he?
So it's like, yeah, they recommend not doing it, but you can just cut off a bigger amount of it, and it's okay. Yeah.
What's even more interesting is that
what they're saying is like the mold has expanded beyond what's visibly, like what's visible, but if you cut off more of it, it'll be okay. Yeah, it's fine. Because I mean, like my mom would do that all the time. I thought it was disgusting, but she would do it, and she never gets sick.
He's never gotten sick from doing this.
Yeah.
Do you ever get sick? I never get sick. Even I find it hard to believe that I've never even had diarrhea because of the food I eat. Especially during my first year on TikTok. I was not that popular, so all I could afford to eat was the rotten food. But yeah, I think I am freakishly healthier than normal people. Or maybe I'm just used to it by now. Damn.
I think a lot of people just get used to it. Their body is adapted to it, and they don't have that type of have that type of issue, right? It's like that one guy who would smoke cigarettes and eat dead porcupines for like and like never shower, and he lived to like 84 or like 94 or something like that, and then they had him take a shower and he died. So yeah, no, you not yet, and or Shield, yeah, no, it's just the human body evolves to adapt to these things. That's just what's normal.
I should have eaten more dirt when I was a kid. He microdosed himself on so much bacteria that he's turned into a walking cold effects pill. Look at him, not believing in storage containers, utensils, and proper cooking services.
I don't even know what that is. Yeah.
Oop. Just a little seasoning from the bed for some flavor. I know the microwave has a built-in plate, but you got a regular plate right there. I'm also showing the least scary parts of his TikToks. Some of the food he scrunches up looks like it came from a nightmare.
Sure.
Okay, if you don't think about what these ingredients look like before, he made a slightly upgraded Lunchable pizza.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I'd eat that. That's fine.
After doing this for some time, he's built up a cult following that's let him move into a bigger and cleaner living space. This is a literal rags and mold to riches story. How do you feel about your content now? I started TikTok at the rock bottom of my life. That time, I felt like I couldn't do anything right. Like my life was just going to be a waste. But I'm glad I started my TikTok in Japan. People are warm there and they supported my content from the very beginning. Now I have more friends and I am happy in my life. Do you wish to continue making these videos? Yeah, because this is my brand now. And I like doing it, not just for the content, but because I genuinely like it. Even now when I can afford nice food, I still wish to continue eating rotten food.
Yeah.
Anyways, a comb as a spoon.
Well, if he likes doing it, good for him. Yeah, how about that? Good for him.
Is wild. We have a strange fascination with observing people at their worst and then rooting for them to get better. The other content creator who I mentioned, who's also in a similar living situation as Haritsu, also has a comb. Here's her reviewing which type of flower is the best type of dry shampoo for unwashed hair.
It was probably one of the best I've ever made at all. And it improved my hair problems massively. And it causes baldness. No, it didn't. I was already going bald before then. And yeah, and no, I don't smell bad. I mean, I don't. Like, I don't know, like, if somebody's like, people are talking shit. I do not smell bad. Like, the smelling like dust or whatever, I don't smell like dust. There might be something I'm wearing that smells like dust, but I don't. I tell you that, I definitely don't. No fucking shot. How's your sense of smell? I can only smell dead animals. That's the only, and some types of poison. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, you should never use dry shampoo on your hair because your body is meant to be it's like a self-correcting machine. It's like you don't want to put water on your PC to cool it down. Just let the fan do its job. Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't matter. None of this matters. This is all stupid. Yeah, this is stupid. It won't change anything. It won't matter.
I will say she's
Yeah, I'll tell you guys this, right? Asmongold, steak, and eggs. I'm trying to see if I can find the point where I wasn't showering at all. I think it was about here. I could be wrong. Let me see if there's a zoom in of me. Look at that. Literally no problems. Nothing at all. It totally went away. Yep, I didn't have any problems, anything like that. It's clean? Yep. Totally fucking clean. Your hair went away too? It was already gone. Directing an flora? Yeah, I was recalibrating. That's what it was.
A better cook compared to the previous jump scares we saw. Plus, the ingredients she uses are not moldy or scary looking. Thank God, the bare minimum. This pasta looks pretty appetizing. I would eat it if it was served to me. Although,
I would not.
Can I take my food to go? There are too many cooks in this kitchen, and they keep coming towards my food. It's making me nervous.
I've eaten bugs in my food before. It doesn't really matter. People act like it's a big deal. People eat bugs normally. Like, they eat bugs in India all the time. It's not like if you eat a bug, you're gonna die.
てか今日の家夜ご飯第216円だよ。やっぱねパスタミートソースが一番好きどす。
Yeah.
んでこれスーパーの箸だから無用だし。行きます。
That was gross. I wouldn't eat that.
Sorry, I couldn't concentrate on my food because I had to keep an eye out for bugs wandering into the pot, which surprisingly didn't even notice the fresh food being cooked right in front of them. They went in every direction that wasn't the food. Someone said a collab with Haritsu would bring back the bubonic plague, or would it actually create super evolved white blood cells? Her videos are a weird combination of calming and anxiety inducing. It's like if you took a cooking ASMR video and green screened it into a unlivable home.
Yeah, this is the video that people were posting a lot on Twitter. Every time there's like a insane person like this, I always get tagged a lot in these types of videos. Unless you don't even see that part of food the ingredients have. Yeah, no, it's not that big of a deal. Even the FDA allows a certain amount of bugs in products. Yeah, like get a 20-pound bag of sugar. You're probably gonna find a bug in that bag.
200円ちょいって高い方だよね。まあでもたまには2日連続昨日とで2日連続か。で最後に使うのはこれ。もうこれでね何作るか分かるよね。だからねちょっとねフォロワー10万人いった達成した記念にカレー食べたいなーなんて。だから野菜が玉ねぎと人参、お肉と鶏肉。
See, this is the real thing that like really is confusing to me about this is that like I've had a lot of bugs and rats in my room, and this is why I don't understand like her situation is because like whenever I have bugs and rats, they eat my clothes because there's like not a lot of other like food. Maybe she leaves enough food out to where like that doesn't happen. But like they'll eat my clothes and I'll have like holes in my clothes and stuff like that from like rats and bugs eating them out. And like that's why like is like she's not like, does she have that problem or not? I don't know. Those are just American bugs? You think the American bugs are fatter so they eat more food? That's like your own sweat? Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's not even just sweat. It's like well, they'll eat the dead skin off of the, what do you call it? Off of the clothes, and then they'll eat the clothes in the process, right? Because they'd be like, yeah. You produce oil, yeah. That's what I don't understand.
I'm assuming she's used to living like this. There's not a hint of fear in her voice. And does this pod also have bug-repelling force field properties built into it? What the heck kind of advanced products are Japanese people making? She's also gained a cult following herself.
There's a lot of people that watch her. Yeah, look at this. Well, good for her. I should watch this myself.
The audience reaction, based on the comments, is usually confused, scared, worried, and fascinated, since her demeanor doesn't really match her lifestyle. I think the brand she's going for is a subculture in Japan called Jirai-kei, or landmine style, an aesthetic that combines cute feminine gothic fashion with someone who is on the verge of an emotional breakdown. Some people...
That's called a female streamer. That's crazy.
Wear the fashion, while others embrace the entire lifestyle. She even did her own cosplay of landmine style makeup. I think it might be a parody, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, she looked like She's obviously parroting herself. Shouldn't like that.
After watching a bunch of her content, I'm starting to wonder if this is actually real or some kind of social experiment. I use Google Translate to read her bios and captions since it's all in Japanese. So
I think that it's usually like, so there's probably a bit of both, where it's like there's probably some degree of realism, but there's also some degree of goofism, where it's like you have like some of it is true, some of it's not true. It's a bit of both, right? Like that's kind of what I'm expecting, right? That's more of what I'm expecting than anything else. Is like they're like kind of going in that middle ground. It's exaggeration, yeah. Playing into it similar to yourself? Yeah, I mean, to an extent, right? And shock and offer likes? Yeah, like most streamers. Like, I'll play things up a little bit, but there's also other things that are, like, for example, inside of, like, all my doors, there's, like, holes in my doors that, underneath my doors, where, like, rats will, like, dig in to get out from, like, underneath the doors. Like, for, like, my bedroom, because there'd be, like, rats trapped in my room, and then they'd, like, you know, they'd be stuck in there so they can, like, get in and out of my room, even with the door closed. So, like, there's some stuff that you don't fake, and there's other things that you do fake, right? Like, I like, you can't really fake. I mean, I guess you could fake that, but, like, it's something that you wouldn't even, and this is the thing, right? Is, like, you wouldn't even think of that. And I think that this is why, like, for me, if you have me evaluate this stuff, I can tell you how much of it is real and how much isn't. Can I chew through metal? Not really, no. I mean, like, like a raccoon can, but not a mouse. I mean, and it's like, it's always like a matter of time. Like, over time, they probably could, but not really.
Take this broken English with a grain of salt. Concurrent viewership is #1 in Japan. The most entertaining and genius streamer in Japan. Unauthorized reproduction prohibited. Legal action taken. There are even comments questioning if she actually lives in this house. First of all, how would you even sleep? Second, do bugs need sleep? It's hard to say for sure if this is a cosplay of someone with a really strange lifestyle. If it is, then interesting.
Well, it's easy to do that. So like a lot of people sleep like this if you're sleeping outside. Is you can just put a bug net over yourself and then sleep so the bugs don't bother you if you're like a light sleeper, and then just put the blanket over yourself. That way you don't have a, what do you call it? You don't have them waking you up. And also, like, cause this is another issue, that's OP, I didn't know that. Yeah, I used to sleep with my headphones on because like bugs can crawl in your ears and lay eggs in your ears. And so, like, that's another thing. That's why, like, it's one of the reasons why, like, anytime that you'll ever see me, even in videos where, and you'll notice this if you look at, like, a lot of my old videos, I'm always wearing headphones. I don't know if you notice, I'm always wearing headphones all the time.
You definitely have people curious about the character you're playing, but if she's actually going through something, is the audience that she's building enabling her unhealthy behavior?
Of course they are.
Or is this just a simulation? Or will this be another moldy rice to riches story?
I've got to find this girl.
No one should be thinking this is a lifestyle to strive for. A little bed rotting here and there in moderation is okay, as long as you can pick yourself up afterwards. These extreme
this is like, I think these people are like the version, it's like, this is the same version of like Nikado Avocado, where it's like you can have like a fat girl that watches like a even fatter girl eat more food than she is, so she feels better about the amount of food that she's eating. I think this is really what's happening, right? Yeah, exactly.
Of gaining a following by living in a garbage house are rare instances of someone getting famous by showcasing their bizarre lifestyle, when in reality, there are a lot of people struggling like this without the money and fame. It's very fascinating, and I'm seated for some more plot development. Do these people end up cleaning their houses and getting their life together? Also wondering, is this the secret to turning your immune system into an impenetrable fortress? Because how are they still out here looking normal? I'm surprised they're not turning green like a Sims or that green.
Well, you can look at me, right? So I as I said, you can see my skin, right? And like my hands, the skin, everything like that. Completely immaculate. Literally nothing at all. No blemishes, nothing whatsoever. I'm 34 years old. Not yet, of course not yet. I mean, like, eventually everybody fucking dies and rots, right? I mean, what do you expect? I have no issue, right? And I also, I learned that you needed to change your bed sheets in 2018, and it was at the end of 2018, and then I did it twice, and that was about it. And like I think also, like, I think I had COVID maybe like a month ago. Like, I was thinking about it. I think I don't even really know. I'm not even, cause I was like coughing a little bit, but I'm not really sure. You killed COVID, yeah, maybe. Get it like once every 2 months, but I didn't even really notice it. And like, whenever we go to conventions, like, you know how everybody gets like convention fatigue and they get sick from conventions? And like, they get sick from all these big get-togethers? The con crud? Yeah. Isn't it crazy how, like, I'm always streaming the next day? Yeah. That's nuts. How about that?
From Wicked. They must have plus 100 and poison resistance or something. Spending 5 minutes in any of these houses would have me feeling nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Hey, that's abysmal. You know what else can prevent you from getting sick? The YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed the content to see more of my videos. You'll also get a +2 stat boost against germs, toxins, and the common cold. Disclaimer, percentages can vary based on individual experiences. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.
Yo, yeah, what's going on? I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't think a lot of this is like really all that bad. Like, I mean, yeah, this girl is, I mean, she's definitely, I mean, she's pretty nutso, right? I mean, she's definitely a bit nuts, and like, you just look at her and you can tell that. But at the same time, like, you might think that, like, there's a lot of ways that you can fix these problems that you might not really be able to predict or think about, like, unless you really know about them. So, like, for example, like the bug mat, right? You could just put one of those over yourself. Like, those are very easy to do. You don't have to worry about bugs, and you can use your blanket to kind of like keep it pressed down. It's not really a big issue. And then also, it's not going to interfere with oxygen because there's holes through it, but the holes aren't that small. It's not that big of a deal. And like, let me think before. So yeah, this is what's really confusing to me about this topic, though, is that whenever I've had a lot of bugs and animals that have been like living in like where I'm at, what I've had happen is that, like, they'll eat all of my clothes. Like, I don't know, do I have any, I mean, I've probably thrown a lot of it away by now, right? But like, a lot of my clothes, there'll be like holes and like just massive holes in them. Cause like the rats and like, I didn't really bother like worrying about it because, like, well, why would I worry about like rats eating my clothes? Because it would, it would make the clothes breathe better, right? Because like, then they would have more airflow and it would look kind of cool, right? So I kind of would just let them eat the clothes anyway, so it was fine. And it, you know, there's a spectrum, right? Where it's like they eat so much of it and now it's like you can't wear the clothes anymore, but you're gonna change clothes anyway. But for most of the clothes that I wear, like for example, like this shirt here, I've had this shirt ever since I remember I wore this to school in 9th grade. And you know, like, there you go, everything's totally fine. So that's really the way that I've had it. Yeah, I've had it for 20 years now, right? And so there's that. The girl on TikTok. Yeah, I want to look at the girl. I want to see what the other videos are and see kind of what's going on with this. Let me go ahead. I'll put this and search it real quick, but I'll link you guys this video because, like, yeah, I mean, it's what's really weird and fucked up about this is that I remember when I made my video. There's the video right there. I love this guy's videos, by the way. This is insane. I do not believe he's not sick. Mold poisoning can show up in different symptoms: asthma, chronic fatigue, anxiety, fatigue. So even if he isn't experiencing stomach issues such as nausea, doesn't mean he's slowly degrading his health. Mold exposure can be extremely damaging. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so let's go ahead and I'll look at the rest of these, okay? Is a legend on his vid? No, because like if you, and this is what's kind of fucked up about it to me, is like if I look at my old videos and when this came out, like, let me see if I can find some old stuff, right? Current streaming setup, I think that's pretty clean overall. Like, that's not really so bad. There's this one here, right? So this is from, I guess, Mists of Pandaria.
About my room in a while, and I know it's a preview. Just kind of guess that's Dr. Pepper. This is a whole thing, dude. I got elegant. It's looking pretty good. You know, I've got it pretty cleaned up. I've got this area is not so clean, but if you just look at it from this direction,
that's good. I still have, that's the Gatorade bottle I showed you guys a while ago. Yeah, like so I've got that Gatorade bottle still. And like I have a Wendy's cup from downstairs that's from Yellow Wendy's. I actually have a yellow Wendy's cup.
What's going on with these Wendy's things? Okay, so this one
and this is from 2017.
So let me see. Do I have a flashlight? I'm trying to think.
And this is, I remember this was at like 7 in the morning because I had stayed up all night playing video games.
Flashlight. Oh, here we go. Is this a good one? Does it work? Wow. Okay. Great. So here we go.
Yeah, that's the Wendy's chili.
So if you look at it in there, it's all white and stuff.
I don't remember why they were green. I don't know how they turned green.
Let me just get in here.
Yeah.
So that's been a few days. Actually, that's not a few days. That's like last week.
I love Wendy's chili.
I'm kind of hungry. There's some other mold down in there, and this is last month's. I don't even want to open this one up, honestly.
See, this is back whenever I was still using normal spoons. This was such a mistake because then I had to clean the spoon.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
No bugs. I cut them in half.
See, it's already started to turn yellow and black and everything.
Yeah.
So I sit right here because like sometimes I smell it and I get hungry, and so that's actually why I went to Wendy's today because it was like real hot. So like the mold was like fermenting, and I was actually pretty good. I didn't really eat a lot of the chili though. I don't know why. But I got all the nuggets. I'll tell you that right now. I got my rubber band ball. How about that? That's real fucking cool.
Where did that go?
I got my water bottle with the Gatorade. This is basically a science experiment at this point. This Gatorade bottle's been there for years.
That's crazy because it's still there, and it's been there for years. And this was years ago. This is 2017, and it had been there for years. Wow. I wonder how old it really is.
Really, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
That's nothing wrong with that. It's just pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with the room. Nothing really too crazy. Just a couple of like moldy things, but nothing really out of the ordinary. And so there you guys go. I know a lot of people have been wondering, and well, now you know.
So there's that one, and that was like an update video, and then there was this one. This is an old video. Oh yeah, this is me throwing drinks out the window. Because I threw out so many drinks in my backyard that the neighbors were complaining about raccoons. Yeah. It was so bad. Because they couldn't have birthday parties outside anymore because there were so many wasps. It's like when you say it, it is. It's really something, right? But like, there it is. And so what I look at it, and it's like, this is from August 10th, 2010. And so I look at these girls that are doing it, and this girl is from 1999. There's a good chance she could have seen one of these videos growing up. Like, there's a non-zero probability. Oh my God.
And I have some from over here. This is actually where I've been putting them recently. That I don't even know why I put that. I've got some on top of my computer there.
Yeah.
And let's see what we actually have in here.
Oh, he doesn't know English? You don't need to know English.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, magic cards too. And these red cups. Let's see. It's like pink lemonade. That
Why do I have Pokemon cards?
Get a better look at that.
Yeah.
That's molded over Coke. That's more molded over Coke. This one's one of my favorites here. I don't even know how long this has been here.
Yeah.
And that's...
And so, like, I look at some of these, and I think about this, and it's like, some of these people probably saw me doing this back then, and they could have started doing it. I could have been one of the first people. Look at this.
作ってみればいいですわ、クマよ。はあ。ナノが使えます。待って待って、ジオル。G ミキサーになってしまう。G 粒子作るタイプじゃないんだ。ベビージーこと赤ちゃん G がいました。はあ。どうしよう、G 入っちゃった中で今結構でかいのいたんだよね。どうしよう、どうやって追い出せばいいと。まあいいや。どうせもうたくさんじゃん。そうだね。
See, that's the thing, right? Is so she does have the bugs eat her clothes and eat her stuff. She does. No, this proves it to me, because the bear is in the bag to avoid having the bugs eat the bear. So that implies that if the bear wasn't in the bag, it would be eaten. So, yeah, no, it is. So that is actually what's happening. She's like suffocating it? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, it upsets them.
できたんじゃない?
I think it's only a room that she has, and then the rest of it is normal. I mean, I think that probably makes sense though, right? Like, that's the way that I have it. Where it's like, I mean, other rooms that I have are like a lot more normal than like my kitchen, right? Like, I don't think it's like really a set. It's more like a radius where it's like the bugs have an aggro range that is primarily focused around this room. So there's probably not as many bugs in the other room. That's not how it works. Roaches infest everything. No, that's not true. You'll have some of them that'll be like in like one. No, it's they'll have like locations where they're mostly at. Like I'm not saying that there won't be any roaches in the other places, but there'll be like 50 roaches in one place and like 2 in another place. So that's different. Yeah. And see, like, that's the crazy, because like, so she's got those bugs on the wall, and then that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, the highway? No, there's a lot of them. They got really active in the morning. They would get super active in the morning. Oh my god, Roach Highway? No, it's okay. What I did with it is I took a vacuum cleaner and I vacuum cleanered all of the roaches up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. You smoke them out? No, I didn't. And then I took prefab cement and I put the prefab cement around the beam where the roaches were getting in. And then the roach problem went away. I saw like 3 other roaches and then that was it. Yeah, I never had to deal with any more of them. Aren't those ants? Yeah, those are ants. Let's see. Oh, she's...
こちら100円ショップで購入したカレー缶4種類を
Did you eat this nasty fucking shit? It's fucking disgusting. Just go to Walmart.
はい、いただき
I would not eat this. Like, I would never eat this. Fucking disgusting. Like, I don't know if it's healthy or not. It's just fucking disgusting.
Let's go, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like... So this is like, if you guys want my honest, like, real, like, opinion about this, let me watch like 2 more and then I'll give my real opinion. Because this doesn't look dirty at all. This is completely clean. Look at this. There's no bugs anywhere. Yeah. There's no bugs. It's a hotel? Yeah, maybe you're right. Is it soy sauce?
いただき真夏。やっぱり安定にもちろん美味しい共和国でした。
I'm glad you got your bear with you. So did she move away?
これはね、水切り不要らしいよ、ほら。あら、美味しそう。最後、
Oh, this is the... Yeah, this is definitely a new place. Because the bear doesn't have... It's not in the bag anymore. Yeah, see? And you can also tell, one point you can tell if somebody is like really dirty is like right here on their hands. And so, yeah, she takes, like, she's not like super dirty. You can tell, yeah, it's their nails. It's like there's dirt in their nails. Their teeth are clean? No, it's okay. Like, I used to, the reason why, like, and people always comment on this, I don't do it as much now, but, like, I have a habit of letting my nails grow longer, because when I would have holes in my teeth, I would need to use longer nails to pick the food out of the holes in my teeth, but that's not really as much of an issue anymore.
最後これ4個目普通のごまタレトーストオムレこれは水切りするねナイス水切り
Yeah, so I had like, yeah, I had longer nails for that reason. A toothpick? No, it's just not an extra problem. Yeah, so did she change like her... Yeah. Good for her, yeah, right. I mean, and so... But then now she's back... Now she's back in this. Oh, she does the same thing that I do. I do this too. After I open a box from Amazon, I'll stab the knife that I opened the box with back into the box. Yeah. Like, just to practice, because I used to not really be very good at knife throwing. And I will step back and like try to just like throw it, you know, from like 2 or 3. Yeah. I need to be good at it. It is what it is. That's a cantaloupe. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's why she has it in the bag, is to avoid having the bugs eat it because of the skin particles. And so, okay, this is my verdict. I think that this is mostly real, but it's partially an act, obviously. I think that she's playing it up about 20% of the way through. I do think that a lot of it is probably real. And I would even say that the majority of it is probably real. But I don't think that she sleeps in, I don't know, but like I do know that it depends on how often she showers, right? Because if she showers all the time, the bugs probably won't be as bad. But if she doesn't shower a lot, well, but then she's talking about using dry shampoo all the time because she didn't need to shower. I don't know. She's only getting attention because she's attractive? No, yeah, and that's very important, right? Is like this strategy only really works for like girls that are attractive. It definitely does, because there's like a lot of guys that like watch and they're like, oh, I can fix her, like I can, you know, like that's definitely, she's not attractive. Yeah, I don't know, like I would say that she's above average for being attractive, right? As somebody who is a professional at looking at girls, I would say that, yeah, this is definitely above average. Like, you think that she's not above average? Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart right now. Like, she's not sitting in a motorized scooter, you know, with a, you know, like one of those like little grabbers so she can get, you know, the fucking, the big bag of Hershey's Kisses off of the top aisle. You know, she's not 450 pounds, exactly. So this is, yeah, above average in Texas, exactly. Yeah, and so I think that like she's playing it up a little bit, but there's certain elements of this that I do think are definitely real. And what I would assume is that there's probably potentially multiple rooms in the house, and one of the rooms is like more or like less dirty than the other ones, because like she's been doing this for really kind of a long time, and you can see, yeah, and she didn't have any bugs right here, and this was only 5 years ago. Yeah, she even does the Pokemon dance. Well, good for her. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other videos of her at her house. Yeah, there you go. I see what's happened. So she left a lot of the food out and it got worse over time, and then she had to put the bear in the bag because of that. See, the teeth, yeah, she brushes her teeth a lot. That's pretty good. She's not drinking soda the way that I am. Yeah. That's the thing. Why are you spending so much time on this? Because I don't really, like it, I find it to be interesting because I see a lot of other people, like, it's the same, because like, I did the same thing a lot, and like, to be honest with you guys, I said this before when I looked at this video, the only reason I actually recorded this video was to show off that I had this mount. That was the only reason I actually recorded this video. Because I had just got this mount. The sidetrack? Yeah, I just got, totally sidetracked on it. But yeah, this was the original battle station. And I'm still streaming from this exact place, by the way. Yeah, like this is the exact same room, exact same place. Everything's all the same. So yeah, comparing degenerate lifestyles. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. Can you just buy this mount now? You actually could. It's an easy carry. And yeah, it's that simple. Exact same smell. Do you ever plan on moving into another house? She has such a mess, yet her nails, her teeth are way well taken care of. Well, no, your dental health doesn't really have to do with like your environment as much. Like for me, so the reason why I have like really bad dental health is because number one, I drink a lot of soda. I don't see her drinking any soda. And then number two, I eat a lot of sugar. Number three, I didn't brush any of my teeth at all in high school and until I was like 19 or 20. Like, I just didn't really do it. Why not? I just never really gave a fuck. I didn't care. And so, yeah, and then they started getting worse, and it was like, oh, God, that's really bad. And so, yeah. Been 2 hours content. Yeah, no, it's quite a lot. The condition of your health and the main health is the main reason for the health issues you're facing. Yeah, I did tell myself, I told you guys I'm gonna clean up like a lot of the house, and I have cleaned up a lot of my house already. Yeah, why didn't your parents make you wash? They did, they really did their best, but unfortunately, I am an animal, and like, so the reason why I started like not giving a fuck is that, oh God, fucking my dad's calling me. Hello? Yeah, but I was in the middle of something.
Oh, okay.
What? You're on speaker. You're on speaker.
Okay. First of all, just to let you guys know, he actually does not smell. He does kind of smell like an old man, but that's because of all the old dead skin. But, you know, and he always was like that. I walk around, I got fucking dirty hands, I don't do a fucking thing. He's out doing stuff, he's, you know, and all. His hands are always perfectly clean.
That's right.
You know, he's like his Uncle Sean.
Yeah.
He said he has Jesus hands.
Oh,
you know,
God. Oh, God. Yeah, yeah. Well, except for the one finger, but yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, he always took baths over here when he came here. But a lot of what he does is nothing different than what his mom did.
You're not calling up just to go and.
I'm not just ragging on her. I'm saying that you didn't just get this out of nowhere. And think about it. I mean, shit. I mean, go in and take a photo of her room, you know.
Yeah.
But you were posting those photos. I'm talking about what you posted
on MySpace. Yeah.
Of the like I said, the classic pot of mold. I had no idea what was underneath.
Can you explain what that was?
It was a pot. It was in the kitchen, and it was just solid mold that had to be at least a couple of inches deep. Take a photo of her room, you know.
Yeah.
Photos. I'm talking about what you posted
on MySpace. Yeah.
Of the like I said, the classic pot of mold. I had no idea what was underneath.
Can you explain what that was?
It was a pot. It was in the kitchen, and it was just solid mold that had to be at least a couple of inches deep. And I don't know what was underneath it because I wasn't.
Grits.
You know.
It was bacon and grits. She made grits, and then the mold would build up, and then she'd put tea bags on the mold, and then the mold would like have like a mound on top of the pot, and then she'd put cigarette butts into the different.
Well, I know, and the cigarette butts. There were so many fucking cigarette butts that they stuck out like a porcupine. I mean, there was no, you couldn't put another cigarette butt out of there. And it was, and I would come over, you know, I worked with, fucking, 50 hours a week. Then I'm driving back and forth into a rush hour, and I'm coming down to his house, and I'm going out at night, and I'm around, I'm still coming over and washing their fucking dishes. And so one day I said, what the fuck am I doing? And I come up there and I see all that crap on his desk because I grew up in a shithole. And I told the story on about his mom coming in one night, and she turned on the light, and then she said, well, wake up, wake up. And I said, what? And she said, brush off your lip, because all along my upper lip, on the edges of my mustache, there was a whole line of roaches feasting out.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was not, and I lived literally in a garage.
Yeah.
Door swings up, and, you know, and so I could ride my motorcycle in and out, change them oil and all there. And it's right next to my bed.
Yeah.
My bed table. And so, I mean, I grew up a lot like this, you know, and so when I got older, I mean, I decided to have a nicer place. He did the same thing to my fucking car. Trashed my car.
I trashed your car?
Yeah, well, my
Mustang. Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah, when you traded it in, it was still my car, because you wouldn't take responsibility for it.
I wouldn't, I don't want to deal with the paperwork. Yeah, no, but like, you got to admit, after we had that guy clean it, was it ever dirty after that?
That was pretty clean, and I was the one who hired the guy to clean it.
You did, and that's because I threw up in the car, and it got cooked onto the car.
Yeah, oh, I know. I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not an irregular thing with me when I was heavy drinking.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But yeah, you ought to see the living room. It's stacked up with shit. It's his shit on top of her shit. She's got Amazon boxes down there of crap she ordered and never even fucking opened. It's never been opened. She's been dead almost 3 years. And, you know, her room is like a shrine. He hadn't touched a fucking thing in there. I mean, I took out the candy bars and some other shit I wanted, but that was all I took out. So, I mean, it was, and she would throw out more food, the two of them, would throw out more food than I would eat in a week. And that's when I was eating a lot. And so, I mean, this stuff is like partially true and not partially true, and it's the way he grew up. And that's why guys like to come over, and guys like to come over to my house, so they could just drop cigarettes on the floor. We had concrete floors, and they could just put them out, and we'll give a fuck. When I was growing up, that's the way he was.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometime along the line, I decided, you know, to clean up my act, and it was, things were like, yeah, there you go, there's the kitchen. And that's looking pretty good. And anytime I go over to his house, he's got boxes, like 4 cookies in each one. And that's because the chocolate chip cookies got stiff. And so he, not really stale, but stiff. And so he just buys them in a box.
I didn't want to eat them, yeah.
And those rats, that's barely a rat, that's a ratling.
Yeah.
I mean, his mom and I had them in the wall, and they were driving us fucking nuts, so I just took my .22 and I shot them right through the fucking wall.
Yeah.
And what I didn't think of is that the smell of it would come out through the electrical receptacles, you know, where you
yeah.
Holy shit, I mean, you know, I was...
It's bad.
Right in our face. So, I had to tape over, I just taped it over, I said, fuck it. And I just taped over it with duct tape until finally the smell went away.
Yeah.
I used to shoot rats out of my attic, and sometimes they fall right on my fucking bed.
Yeah.
I had an attic access up there when I was a kid. I used to have rats that run back and forth, and it was like a little shooting gallery. But that was nothing to me. I mean...
That's just the way it is. Yeah.
So with the mosquito netting,
Yeah, but like that's what I think it probably was, right? Because like if you sleep with that shit on top of you, it's fine.
Oh yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Because you were the one that told me that's how I know about it.
You mean from my junk climate?
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, you did not sleep on the ground out there.
Yeah.
You get carried away in the middle of the night by being gators. But yeah, I mean, it'd be hardcore, feeding the rabbits in the backyard, doing the guts to our 10, 20-year-old cats we had out there. And that's the way I grew up. And so, I tried to make it better for him, but no. And the same with the eating, tried, did my best.
What?
Just take 3 bites, and I can usually talk him into eating more. He ate a lot more shit at my house.
You got me the multivitamin yesterday, and I have it right here.
Yep, I'm still trying.
Yeah, you got it yesterday. I asked my dad to get one for me. He did. All right. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
And guys, Emily was partly right. He smells old. That's just because of the dead skin. And he's right about the dead skin and salt. That's why the rat sea is closed. Almost all animals are at their salt. It's hard for them to find. So I found that out myself. Lost some good clothes that way. Sorry to say, they'd eat out the crotch on mine.
Yeah.
I grew up in Florida, buddy.
All right. Okay. All right. Yo, I'll talk to you later.
Give everybody a rest on this
Yeah.
topic.
All right. Yo, bye.
Yo, bye-bye.
Oh man. I didn't even. Oh man. That's crazy. Yeah. Please read this message following the future of Blue Protocol. It's dead. That's its future. The game's fucking dead. That's right. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. It's not an exaggeration. The game is dead. Bandai Namco Online announced they have made the difficult decision to end service on Blue Protocol. They will shut down Japanese Blue Protocol servers in January 2025 in collaboration with Amazon Games. Bandai Namco said, "We've enjoyed the strong relationship with Amazon Games throughout the development of Blue Protocol. Both of our teams are disappointed that we won't be able to sell the game to players around the world. We know this is disappointing news and we share your disappointment." Yep, there we go. And so we have to respect the great talented team at Bandai Namco and wish them success in their next endeavors. So let's go ahead and read some of the comments and the responses for this tweet. This is kind of unprecedented. Well, it's not, but it's surprising. The combat and the gameplay was just pretty much mediocre. The world movement was average at best. The game had a few really, really good features. Like, for example, it had a feature where you could hold hands with other characters, and you could also make the characters' boobs really big. And so those were the two best things about the game. And then outside of that, so like, you know, for example, in a, let's say you have a map, it's like this, right? And this is the map, and you can explore anywhere in the map, right? It's like, this is you, you can go wherever you want. And wow, I can go wherever I want. Well, in Blue Protocol, you have loading screens inside of every single part of the map. So basically what happened is that if you wanted to move around and explore in this open world game, it was instanced in invisible walls. It was so fucking bad that it was it's like Starfield. Yeah, but it's like Weebfield. And so basically this game was already dying in Japan. Like, it was already dying. People were not playing it. It wasn't seen as interesting. The combat was okay, but overall, here's the truth, is that if you look at this game and you go back to the closed beta reception and the amount of people that were playing it, it just simply wasn't very well received. Gacha prices are stupid high. It looked nice. It did. And a lot of people were excited about this game and happy about it. But you know what I think this game looks like? I think it looks like it came out in 2018. That's what I think. Because if I go, and I'll talk about this more, right? Because this is what I said. I said it's pretty, to my understanding, the Japanese audience for this game, the Japanese audience for this game was dying. The game was in closed beta, was mediocre at best when I played it. This should have been expected with such an abysmal reception and post-launch support. Tower of Fantasy on release was better, which is true. This is kind of hilarious, though. I cannot describe the hate that I have because I deadass wanted to play for years just to see this shit in my face. So you think this because you didn't play the game. I played the game. I saw what it was like. It wasn't very good. It just wasn't. It was mediocre. And so this brings me extreme sadness. And people are blaming Bandai Namco for this, right? Amazon sucks. Amazon and Bandai Namco are the recipe for disaster? You think they're the ones that decided to put loading screens inside of an open world game? Like, it's not even close. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, the game was just garbage in general. I'm sorry, but that's just what happened. I don't think Bandai's put out a banger in the last 15 years. True. Has Bandai Namco made any good games? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus, I forgot. Oh, my God. Besides Elden Ring. No, I mean, besides Tekken. No, besides that. No, besides Armored Core 6. Man. Yeah, see? They haven't brought out any good games. Yeah, no, besides Monster Hunter. I'm not talking about Monster Hunter. I mean, like, other games. Yeah, besides those games, they haven't brought out any good games. And so, obviously, this is Bandai Namco's fault. They've decided to do this. They've ruined Blue Protocol. That's what's happened. So, basically, Blue Protocol is a game that really had a lot of great ideas in a few circumstances. Like, for example, it really had nice world building and character. Like, let me look at Asmongold plays Blue Protocol. And so I played this game. Obviously, I played this game. And I spent half of the... This is really the way that I felt about it, right? I spent over half of this game... actually, whenever I finally logged on... holding hands with a cat girl with big boobs. That's it. I didn't even play the game was so boring. The combat was so bad. I was like, this is stupid. And then I finally got her to sit next to me, and I was trying to talk to her through a translator. I think it was a guy, by the way. And so that didn't really go very well. And but yeah, this is pretty much the real experience of the game. And it was great. It really was. This was good content. She's kind of hot. She was. And so you had features like this, but if you look at this design and you look at this world here, like, let's just look around. This looks really nice. You know, it does. This looks nice. However, compare this to Blue Protocol. The truth is that these Weeb games have evolved so much and so fast that Blue Protocol just simply doesn't stand up against them. Straight up. It's not even remotely close. Like, watch this. Look at this. And this is a game that's not even out yet. So, yep, there we go. You can customize a car. Look at that. There we go. You've got actual combat as well. Combat's about the same, but it's the rest of the vibe of the game. Look at how much just visually better this is. It's just better in every single way, and it's not even close. So why would somebody ever want to play Blue Protocol when this game is out? Oh, that's right, they wouldn't. The game took too long to cook, and the industry evolved so fast that by the time that it released, what was originally a next-generation game was a game from 2 generations in the past. That's what happened. If Blue Protocol had released in 2019 before Genshin Impact, and it had grown over time, it would be probably, if it didn't have a few problems, right, as big as Genshin Impact. But I'm sorry. And I said this too in my post here. Somebody even responded. I said, take one look at Neverness to Everness and then come back to Blue Protocol and you'll take a look at what an embarrassing piece of shit this game was. I was excited for the game for years, but let's be real. And then even this guy, I haven't heard of this game, but oh shit, does it look good. I'm sorry, but like, this game was just... painfully fucking mediocre. And I think that a lot of people were disappointed about it. A lot of people were super disappointed about this game because, like, everybody was looking forward to it for so long, but the culture around games like this have just evolved just so much. Like, it's not even remotely close. Like, for example, like, this is... This is her own house. Like, this is player housing inside of the game. It's not even... It's not even funny. Yeah. Yeah, it's a dream house, exactly. No loading screens, by the way. Yeah, and there's no loading screens that you have to go through, right? It's a different genre. If you think it's a different genre, you really think the people that are playing Blue Protocol aren't going to look at this and be like, this looks like a game that I want to play? Like, you really think that an anime game full of characters, that big booba, like, waifu characters, you really think it's like, oh, there's two different groups of people playing this game? No, there's not. They're the same people playing these games. So yeah, it's an MMO. It's its own thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's an MMO or not. If it's not delivering an experience that's good and enjoyable and it's fun to play, it's just garbage. The excuse of it's an MMO, so the combat is mediocre and bad. You remember when New World used that example? How did that go? You remember the combat, and you remember like WoW's, vanilla WoW's combat was fucking insane for its time. It was unbelievably good for any game, especially with the online responsiveness. It was crazy. So no, I don't want to hear this bullshit like, oh, but is it, you a dick eater. Stop eating dicks. Stop eating. Stop doing it to yourself. You don't need them. Put it away. Vanilla combat's fantastic, yeah. And so anyway, a lot of people were unhappy about this. It was a big disappointment. But I've said before, some babies deserve to be aborted. And it's fortunate, I think, for the entire world that Bandai Namco is pro-choice. I think they made the right call. They did. And everybody that played the game knows it. And it's sad, because Blue Protocol had some really cute little features, and they had some really nice, good ideas. And I really hope that the people that make the game can double down on that and make another game that was better. But man, it took too long to develop. The industry standards evolved so far beyond it. Like, here's another one, by the way. Here's another one. And look at this game. Wow. Look at the fucking photo. It's a cute little elf waifu that you can probably marry in the game. Absolutely. Wow. I wonder how many people are going to play that. Look at this. This is so much better. Look at the quality of the animations, the visuals of the game. This is the game, again, it doesn't even have English localization yet. The animation's good? It is. It's great. And you can even have the animals as slaves, which is a huge positive.
热身结束，优势在我。前，哼！情况了解，预备，交给我。风雨雷光，一同齐。
Basically, like, so another thing that Blue Protocol did is that they used a system where it was like you had your base abilities, and then you had a customizable ability that was an enemy monster interaction. So let me just go ahead and what's the most interesting fight in Wuthering Waves? Wuthering Waves, Hitless. Let's watch this one. Only with Encore. Here we go. I'm sorry, but Blue Protocol is a lot worse than this. And you can see the same animations, but it's just so much cleaner. That's Lily. Yeah, I've watched her stream a lot, actually. Because she played Wuthering Waves a lot, and I was thinking of maining Encore, but I just couldn't do it. And like you can see, it in fact with Blue Protocol, there are a lot of similar features that are the same.
Try to dodge out.
What was the previous game? Azure Permillion. And look at how good these animations are. And this was a release character, by the way. So like they've made characters that are better than this, that play better than this even now. Way too flashy. I understand that. I can say that. Like, I think Chang Li is probably one of the more flashy characters, right? This is one of the newer ones. It's gacha? What do you think, Blue Protocol wasn't gacha? It's an anime game. Every single anime game that comes out, you should assume that it's a gacha game. That's it. Every single one. If you see an anime character in a video game, you should assume that you have to spend money on a slot machine to play that character. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is the one exception. Not Persona. Persona's, yeah, it's like 2 or 3. Okay, that's it. So, visually, this game looks way better. And I know that some people are going to say because Blue Protocol is an MMO, that people should look at it differently. That's not the way the world works. Watch this. I want to go to the city. Fucking loading screen. It's a Starfield simulator. It's mediocre. It's just outdated, bro. It's just simply outdated. And it's so sad because like this game should have come out in 2019 and it should have evolved, and this should be the closest thing that we have right now to Sword Art Online. But it was stuck in development for too long. They didn't innovate it. It was stuck. It didn't change. And that's where we're at. That's what happened. It should have died in Amazon's hands. It shouldn't have died at all. They should have released it earlier. But that's what happened. I remember talking about it and getting excited about it. I just want to show you guys 3 other games that have come out recently that are already looking way better than Blue Protocol ever has. So yeah, they shut down this game. And also, here's another huge component that I want to mention again, is that the Japan audience, the main audience for this game didn't like the game. There it is. It was a negative reaction even in Japan. It's that simple. They tried and they missed. They did. And it's sad because I really had a lot of high hopes for this game. I did. But unfortunately, it just didn't really happen. Big mistake was not releasing it global. Why would that make it better? That wouldn't have made it better at all. That would have just made it worse, faster to more people. I can't say I didn't see this coming. They made way too many poor decisions. They censored so much they accidentally censored the entire game out of existence. When all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. You fucking retard. The censorship was done by AGS. They only stated that they were going to do it. And this was about the Western version and not the Eastern version. So the version that was rejected by players never had the censorship in the first place, and the censorship had no factor and no bearing on the success of the game, because at no point in the lifespan of the game did the censorship exist. That's not what happened. Not everything is dying because it's woke. Some things die because they suck. Idiot. Idiot downvote. That's not why. Have you seen the new gameplay trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance? I haven't, but I will. And don't you think the news about the censorship killed the hype train? Do I think the news about the censorship killed the hype in the West, which caused Japanese players to stop playing the game? No. No. What? Anyway, let's move on. Let's see this. It's a bit sad that it's a well-deserved death. To me, it's just Bandai Namco proving yet again it's the worst of the game developers in Japan. Have yet to see a great game from them in ages. All right. Anyway, so let's go ahead and look at the rest of this. The 6 guys in shambles right now. Well, he's been very positive about Wuthering Waves, yeah. And he'll have to make a negative video about Tower of Fantasy about this. I'm sure that'll be fine. Tower of Fantasy 4.0 survives while Blue Protocol end of service and dies. Well, here's the funny thing about Tower of Fantasy. We're just going to look at April. Tower of Fantasy. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. So right there. Even Tower of Fantasy in April made over $500,000. You see that? Isn't Tower of Fantasy making another game? Yeah, that's Neverness Everness. That's their new game. Shit about Blue Protocol? Yeah, we're talking about it right now. That's China. Yeah, and that's China only, okay? If you look at worldwide, let me see a worldwide. I didn't see it. I must have missed it. There it is. 850,000. That's a lot of money. Right? Now, is it as much as Genshin Impact? It is, in fact, not as much as Genshin Impact. However, it's a lot of money. And it's making... And where's Blue Protocol? It has a gacha system in it, by the way. It's not even on there. I've got to start making a gacha game myself. I've got to sit down with Tectone, and we've really got to figure this out. Yeah, Blue Protocol is dead. It is dead. And it killed itself. And Wuthering Waves? Where's Wuthering Waves? Let me see where Wuthering Waves is. May. This is, I guess, June. Do you have July 2024? Let's see how Wuthering Waves is doing. Right there. $29 million for Wuthering Waves. There you go. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero. $96 million. Absolutely fucking insane. Honkai Star Rail, by the way, look at this. Went from 95 million to 35 million. Like, you might not seem like that's not a lot. Like, it's still $35 million, but that's losing 70% of the amount of money. Because of Firefly, I think that really, I don't know why it happened. Like, the reason why I stopped playing Honkai Star Rail is because I just stopped playing it. I don't really have, like, much of a reason at all. It's just a game that I would get into and then play for a while, and then I would stop. It's really not that complicated. Yeah, I don't have a big, you know, and also I think a lot of them, realistically, Hoyoverse has, like, an audience of simps that are addicted to every single character that they make. And so a lot of these people, they're not quitting again. Hoyoverse is still making money. It's just they're making money up here instead, right? They're like, well, I'm not going to wail on the character. I'm going to wail on, what was her name? Ellen, right? The character that, why do you have to make the character who has visibly present nipples through her skin, like through, why would you make her, why can't you just make her 8? Why does she have to be 17? Like, why? Why? There's plenty of people that are 18 in high school. Fuck, in my high school, there are people that were 20. Some real retards, man. Yeah, that's the target audience. Anime's an interesting place, man. What can I say? And so, yeah, let's see if I can, look and see if I can find this. So, yeah, Zenless Zone Zero. These are apparently mods for Zenless Zone Zero. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so a lot of people are really, really big fans of this game. Yep. So, you know what's funny about this? Is that whenever I first looked at it, I wasn't entirely sure that it was totally fake. I was like, wait a minute, is this actually... Oh yeah, they're a little bit bigger. What's the new character that Zenless Zone Zero did with, like, the cat tail that everybody's been talking about? What's her name? Jane Doe. It's a cow? When does that ever stop somebody? We don't need to watch this with sound on. Oh no, this is gameplay. Nobody cares about that. Anyway, is this better? Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. And so... Right, the thigh jiggle. That's right. This is the way games are now. There are very, very advanced physics. And apparently this character isn't even fully human. Do you remember what I said before about how people are going to graduate high school soon and they're not even going to be attracted to animals that aren't human, that exist anymore? Yeah. Like, we're really approaching a really interesting singularity. We are. Huh? I'm telling you. Who do you think's playing these? Kids are playing these games. Yeah, they're playing these games. What do you mean? This game is 12 rated plus? Well, yeah, of course. I mean, if I was 12, I'd be playing that game. Absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, it feels like VR chat. Exactly. And so there we go, guys. And that's what's happened. And you just see, and also, like, by the way, the characters in Blue Protocol were not that hot. They weren't. Nikkei is also 12 plus unironically? Really? That's interesting. Yeah. Generic? I guess so. Please play the game with the ninja monkey. I will soon, okay? Yeah. Check BB on Twitter if you want to see why Fate Grand Order is still popular. My funniest story about Fate Grand Order is apparently Emeru used to be a huge simp for Fate Grand Order, and she really, really liked the game, and she spent money on it and everything, and she was free to play with the game, and then she finally saved up all of her currency that she had farmed for some skeleton guy named Hassan, and she spent all of her currency to get the character. And she didn't get it, and I think she quit the game. I did. She quit the fucking game. Remember, says midnight? Yes, there you go. That's sad, bro, because they don't have the pity system. See, because like in the new ones, they have the pity system. But now, and I think Fate Grand Order added it recently. But yeah, before they didn't have that. Man. And so that's the thing. It's like I hear these stories about you know, these people have it does have pity now. Yeah, probably after they watch that fucking YouTube short. Yeah, they're like, Jesus Christ. This girl probably spent like 10 grand on the game and she quit. Like, this is, yeah, we gotta figure something out. As it makes as much money, doesn't appeal to those people? Yeah, exactly. It's not really reachable for most. It's a horrible pity system now even. Well, there you go. I mean, you play one of these games if you're... Listen, I don't think that none of these games should have pities. They shouldn't. Because they are... it's like you deserve to be taken advantage of if you're playing a gacha game. You do. And so, like, every time it's like Nexon gets discovered for, like, manipulating rates in MapleStory, I'm like, yes, W Nexon. Good, you got him. Yes, yes. That's what you get. That's right, Natural Say, you shouldn't have played the fucking game, you fucking idiot. Because, like, for me, and like, I remember, there were even people that make, do you deserve taking advantage of playing gacha games? Well, I don't take advantage of I don't get taken advantage. I take advantage of them because I always get the characters on like my first or second try. That's what's so crazy. Is like all of these other people, and that's why they really get mad. I think this is why the anime community hates me on Twitter, by the way. Like all these people with anime profile pictures fucking hate me. You want to know why they fucking hate me? I'll tell you why. It's because I did a 10 pull for Sela at the beginning of fucking Honkai Star Rail, and I got 2 copies, and I max leveled her, and then I was just like, guys, I beat the game, and I spent like $300 on it. I spent like no money at all. Put no effort into this. And then meanwhile, these guys are sitting there killing every mob in the game, going through combat because they can't do combat normally. They can't autoplay. Yeah, it was insane. I know it was insane. Well, that's the way it is. And so I think the reason why the anime community on Twitter hates me is because, and I'll even screenshot a lot of these. Anytime I have a really good pull in one of these games, I'll screenshot them. I think I've got one for Tower of Fantasy on here. I don't know if I have any. Do I have any of the old ones? Oh, fuck. Let me see. Is this the old one? I gotta make sure. We gotta open up this one. There shouldn't be any problems on here. Yeah, here we go. This is all okay. And so, yeah, there we go. This is why the anime community on Twitter hates me. This is why people that are on Twitter that have these anime profile pictures, this is why they actually fucking hate me. It had nothing to do with, like, what I said or, like, how dirty my room is or anything like that. This is why these people really hate me. Winners win. I don't know if I have any more of these or not. Let me see if I can find them. These are like pretty old photos. Shit. I might not. I'm sorry, guys. I remember I made that one a while ago. It's crazy to go back and look at some of these. It really is. Oh my god. Wow. Man. Man. There it is. Bro, you play WoW subscription, but you play a subscription-based games you call gacha players eaters. I want to say that WoW gets continuously developed, and you can be good at the game and you can be rewarded for it. Whereas back in the day, you didn't have to do that. You could just be garbage and in gacha games, you just be garbage and spend money and win. So, but yes, nowadays WoW is indeed for eaters. Like, I don't want anybody to get confused about this. Like, WoW is absolutely for eaters nowadays. I don't know if I have any more of these, the good polls. I'm sorry, guys. Fuck. Yeah, I think I have more of them, but not on this picture at least. I'm sorry. But yeah. Just because it outscaled your skill level doesn't make the game bad. Oh, just because WoW outscaled my skill level? The biggest cope that WoW players have is that their accomplishments in the game are because of skill. That's why almost every single competitive WoW player that tries to branch out and play another competitive game gets stuck in gold or like the one level above gold, because being good at WoW is like being a big fish in a small pond. That's really the truth. You're a big fish in a small pond, and the game is not competitive. The level of gameplay is very high, but if you actually compete in a legitimate, real, competitive esport game, you will get absolutely fucking bodied, and you are not even remotely close to the top. You're not even in the top 1%. That's the truth. PvP is harder than any other PvP game? So you think that PvP in WoW is so much harder than any other PvP game that all of the people that are playing World of Warcraft
I've been thinking
are willingly
about that.
foregoing millions of dollars of other esport money,
Nah, too
but
much
they're
work.
simultaneously trying to coach people for $200 to get them to 2,200? These people never have a chance in a real esport. They wouldn't even be close. Absolutely fucking coping. Like, I'm sorry, but like, that's it. Who cares about esports? The people that play video games competitively and they try to make money playing video games competitively. Those are the people that care about esports. That's the truth. Yeah, and WoW players are the same. Being good at WoW PvP is like being a big fish in a small pond. Go into a real competitive PvP esport environment, and you will see these people get a massive reality check, and they will never, they are not even as close to as good as they think they are. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Okay, but they want to play WoW? Oh, they do. They do. But hey, here's what I think. I think that if these people could port their skill and expertise to the equivalent skill and expertise of another of another esport level game, I think every single one of them would do it instantaneously. I think they don't do it because they can't. That's the reason.
I think I could have done well selling pose sculpts. Yeah, probably. But like I want to make my own IP. I don't want to make Warcraft art. Deserve a new orb. It gives you it's the cytoplankton orb. Makes you healthier. inoculating. How's it going? You were gonna join earlier, but you got distracted. It's a terrible excuse. You're supposed to be in stream all the time, just like Rusty if you want to be my #1 fan. Rusty's got the hate boner. Is that a hate boner in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? biggest fan? Show me how you blow that. Oh my god, it's so funny. I get it. I get it. It's funny. It's like you're my biggest fan. Like the kind of fan that you use to keep yourself cool in the summertime, right? But like when said in this context, it sounds like fellatio. I get it. I get it. Rusty has a sense of humor. This guy blows. Yeah, I can hear the grapefruit sounds all the way from over here in Malaysia. It's pretty crazy. This pauldron should be part of the cloak. Where is the pauldron? Should move the pauldron. Wait. Yeah, the big pauldron should be like down here. Move it with the cloak. Wait, these balls are supposed to be part of the pauldron too. I put balls on the pauldron. Makes it look more manly when there's balls there. Oh wait. The two small balls there are the belt. Those shouldn't go in the pauldron. They should go in the belt. Belt holder, there we go. This is also part of the pauldron. What is this one? Oh, this is also part of the pauldron. Damn. A lot of pieces in the pauldron. What is this? The belt. Gotta stay organized. A lot of pieces in here. What is that? Oh, that's the dick. We'll delete higher. Don't need that. It's just for reference. I'll slice the dick off. Just the tip. Should probably use knife curve for this actually. The man booty carver. I'm Butcher Pete. Butchering everyone's meat. Thanks, by the way. Symmetry on. I'm wondering, should I have the boots be separate from the cuisses? So then you have like modular cuisses and then modular boots. The issue is the connection point between the legs. Is that this stream is getting freaky? How so? What's wrong? I don't. What's wrong with a bit of freaky? Yeah, like the thing that's wrong, like that's hard to do if you have like modular cuisses, and then you have like modular graves. Is the connection point the knees, right? I think I might just have the legs as one slot item. It makes the most sense. If the legs are one slot item, then there's no issue here with the knees. I can like sculpt however I want on the knees and they'll animate fine, they'll look fine. You don't have like clashing geometry that clips. But then on the other hand, like, man, that's not a lot of slots to customize with. You only have the legs, the gauntlets, the chest, and the head. It's like, oh, that's only 4 slots of armor. Well, I'll sculpt it, I guess. I'll just keep sculpting. See what I come up with. Elden Ring only has 1 slot for the legs. That's true. It's true that Elden Ring only has 1 slot. Path of Exile also does the same, I think. No, wait, Path of Exile. They have 1 slot, but it's not limited. But like the cuisses are part of the chest piece. And like, you only have the boots. You can customize the boots. Actually probably makes more sense than having the whole leg harness drop. So either I have like modular boots, or I have the cuisses and the boots drop as separate items. I guess if the boots, right, if the boots extend all the way up past the knee, so the boots as an item would include the pull-ins. Right, so you have the knee armor here. So this whole area here would be the boots. With the knee. I guess that works. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Have everything modular. I mean, yeah, like I can have like each cuisse would be modular, so you have left and right cuisse. So like this would drop as 1 item, right? And then like if you want the other one, you'll have to farm for the other half. That does kind of make sense. Also kind of annoying. You have to farm twice just for some pants. I don't know. Like Morrowind, right? Morrowind had the boots and the cuisses as separate items, but like you didn't have to farm for like 1 piece. Both of them dropped at the same time. They did have separate gauntlets, which I think I will have. They'll have separate gauntlets, Morrowind style. Because it is cool to have like a leather glove in one hand and then like a steel plate glove in the other. I had my stream like 2 minutes behind, oops. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. The boots are gonna drop like this item here. It's going to be the greaves, the sabatons, and the polens. 3 items in one. And they will be modular, so you can get one boot and then you'll have to farm the other one. It'll be like the gauntlets. I think it makes sense that way. Cuisses, I think they'll always drop as a pair. Just for like animation's sake, because like the 2 pieces here are very close together. And if there's like any discrepancy in between here, it's gonna be very annoying to adjust for, to account for. Also, like it's like as a player, right? I don't want to have to farm like both pieces here. What would be the point of having a modular, like a different thigh armor on one side? Especially when the cuirass will include the skirt. So if you have like skirt armor over it, it doesn't really matter that much anyway. Alright, that makes sense. I think I have a plan here. When is the game dropping? I'm racing Sui Generis. So I'm racing Maddock and the team on this. So maybe it'll arrive before SG. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be out before Silksong. How about that? It'll be out before Silksong drops. That means the cuisses, when I design the cuisses, the end bit here, that it has to be as narrow as possible, so then like it'll fit every single like boot armor type. Something like that. Yes, it'll be out before GTA 6. In fact, I'm actually making GTA 6, because the folks over at Rockstar, they're too slow, so I'm just gonna recreate GTA 6 in Unreal before they get a chance to release GTA 6. That's just how it is. It'll be GTA 6 Morrowind style. I'll be right back. Gotta go pee. Actually, you know, I've been live for about 4 hours. I think I'll cut here. I think 4 hours is a pretty good time span for work days. It is Friday. That means the weekend is coming up very soon. I'll stream more on the weekend. I am going to go see a movie this weekend. Amazingly enough, I usually don't go outside the house. Yeah, I'll be around. Take care, guys. Got a lot done today. We ripped off some of World of Warcraft's art right here. But you know what they say? Great artists, no, good artists copy, great artists steal. So yeah, we're just gonna rip off more of World of Warcraft's art and then also like use more AI shit, I guess. I'm kidding. Alright, take care. Bye bye. I'm going now. See ya, Inoculating. See ya, Rusty. See ya, BD Generic.